The front page is a dusty yellow, showing us the outline of a lion's mane in multiple colours. On top of it, in swirly serif, it reads, "Speak Out, e-zine." At the bottom of the page, it says, "Edition number 3, Bravery," and in the background, you can see a faded lion's face. The next page reads, "Welcome," in large letters in the same swirly serif. Underneath it, in bold text, we see, "Thank you to all the contributors for baring their souls to help us create this beautiful, collaborative piece of work. We commend the bravery it takes for survivors to share themselves in this way. The vulnerability and the courage that went into this work is an example of the incomparable strength of survivors. The Speak Out newsletter was first printed in 1990 when Survivors Network was set up by a group of survivors of childhood sexual abuse. There are over 100 issues of Speak Out in our archive. Speak Out was a way of keeping our supporters updated about our work, as well as a vital space for survivors of sexual violence, abuse, and harassment to express themselves and their experiences through articles, letters, and poetry, artwork, and more. We have revived this amazing project with brand new issues of Speak Out, transforming it into an online zine solely dedicated to showcasing the poetry, artwork, and messages of love, support, and solidarity of survivors in our community. True bravery. The quality or state of having or showing mental or moral strength to face danger, fear, or difficulty. Some of the content includes emotionally challenging and potentially triggering content. Page number 2 is an image and text by Polly. The image shows a scene of an island and a beach with animals, sea creatures, candles, and a lighthouse created with sand. There are also shells and a bridge. The island is full of spiders and crabs, ghosts and fearsome creatures. And on the land, there's shells, a hut, and candles. The text reads, "Bravery is knowing and being on this horrific island alone. Bravery is daring to remember and not pretending it didn't happen. Bravery is facing the snakes spewing out of a masked wooden face, the invasion of spiders and feeling trapped. How small, scared, and stuck I was. Bravery is holding on to the hope that one day the island might somehow be integrated into the safer mainland, and that I can consistently trust someone else to sit with me in the dark places. Bravery is choosing to stay alive, speaking my truth." Trigger warning, sexual abuse. Another Door by Yellow and Green.
Today is one of those days where I feel weak and so lonely. I know I am in my winter and it's getting darker and colder. I feel like nothing I do is good enough and nothing is ever going right. I know this is all part of my healing journey and I will be kinder to myself. It does not make it any less lonely. When my winter comes around, it's like all the energy has been drained from my body. I am barely in my body. My body is too painful to be in. The memories are so distorted and I know my inner children are trying their best to show me what they have, but in winter it's too much. I struggle with daily tasks and my children push all the buttons when I'm just trying my best to function. In a place where I feel lonely and abandoned and like nothing I do will ever be good enough. I'm doing my best. I know now that this time will pass, but it does not make it any more bearable. I'm like a heavy sky, dark clouds gathered round, waiting for the rain, but all that comes is the rumble of thunder and a flash of lightning. Tight air that makes it hard to breathe. I want nothing more than to feel my pain, but I know the way I function, my protectors are holding back my rain. I am afraid and it chills me to the core to know I have opened up only to find another door. I will not be silent, and I will not give up. There's just so much unsaid and so much still stuck. And I know I feel this more in winter. It brings to light what I can mask no longer. The truth is, I am sad and lonely, and I don't even really know me.
The next page shows us an oil painting, also by Yellow and Green, a self-portrait oil on canvas, survivor of childhood sexual abuse after 20 years of silence. It's titled, Can I Come Out Now? And shows us a huge black void blocking the light from behind it, and a small silhouetted figure of a person attempting to touch it or move through it. The painting is predominantly black, with yellow stripes coming out from behind the black hole, as if there's light behind there. Page number 6, Trigger Warning, Abuse. But I Love Me More, by V. I have never met anyone as brazen as you, but then maybe there are many people like you. Men who come and touch women without permission, without consent, who criticize us, insult bodies, minimize, make us small. I'm not alone. Maybe I should remember that when I feel undeserving of this healing. Maybe I change the focus. I tell myself this healing is for me. This healing is so that I can live. That you are not part of the equation. And that is true. But I change the focus. I try so hard to take accountability of my healing that often I have to move away from my anger that you are not taking accountability. For the pain, the fear, the lasting effect you've had on me, and I cry many nights wishing for this to end. And it makes me angry that you, small, brittle, insignificant, and unworthy, still have this ongoing hold on me. I wonder if you ever think of me, but I don't want you to. But I can't help but wonder if you think about how you treated me and the continued impact it's had on my life. I wonder if you feel sorry. I would not accept it if you did. But whether I like the thought or not, you must have known what you were doing. Is this just some part of a wider game where you can do what you want? Man, do you think you have more power? Because I don't think you would have carried this as well as I have. Man, you throw and we as women catch. We walk, we smile, we laugh, we cherish, we carry children. That is if we want to. Because our bodies are ours to own. And I will not let your voice dictate what I do with mine. And although we may walk afraid at night, big room full of men, we may shrink to feel safe. Do you think that means you have more power? What I see are warriors standing in the face of a storm, and I will be a stone in the tide. And you may think this is to spite you. No, it's despite you. This was meant to be a letter to you, but I think there are only a few words to say. You are a shadow, and I have the power to change where the light shines. I am angry with you, but I love me more. Below the poem reads a message for other survivors, also written by V. It reads, "It takes a lot of work to heal from this. I have been in the exhaustion, the anger, the grieving, and I have sat and wondered what has become of my life. Where is the sorry, and why was it me that was chosen? But we are not chosen. We love deeply, and we have a relentless persistence to fight. And it just happened to be for a person who thought they had too much power, and we have too little. But I want to send a message of hope to you. You are not powerless. He didn't appreciate the unwavering power you have. It is hidden deep under the skin. I only need to know you are reading this to know you are strong, because you have survived it. You can survive it. Your fight has not left you. You simply left the ring. And all that energy we sent to them, all that drive, all that love, you still have it. Turn it inwards. You powerful, beautiful, strong, relentless, radiant women. You are not alone. The next 3 pages show various psychedelic self-portraits by Tim Adwick. The first is focused around an eye, creating a ripple. The second is a face distorted into psychedelic, colourful swirls. The third is a more focused, close-up picture of the eye, but the image looks as if it's been distorted with some kind of spill or chemical, showing different colours, reds and blacks, flashing through the image. Atop of the image is the message, "It's bravery to regain hope." Page 11 features a poem by Lorna Kimpton called Revival. She had dreams, this little girl, a long time ago. But she lost them in all the despair. In fact, no, they were stolen from her. And that really wasn't fair. She wandered through life, lost and alone, struggled to do it all on her own. She didn't know who she was or who she was meant to be. But all the time she was here, she was protecting me. It is time to let go, but she doesn't know how. She needs to know she is safe now. But it isn't that simple when you're struggling for so long. She's frightened it will all go terribly wrong. I need to go in and love her like she's mine, but I'm worried about what I might find. The wounds are so deep and hidden and dark, but I owe it to her to bring her dreams back. Pages 12 and 13 feature images and text by Sophie Olsen, The Flying Child. Trigger warning. Words related to sex, SI, and the harmful pathologizing of CSA survivors. I didn't find the words for 40 years. Saying these words I thought I'd never say was the hardest, the bravest thing I've ever done. It helped me find a way out. I am no longer lost, I am living. The image shows us a bird floating over trees. Writing over the top says, "I am lost in the words." The trees all have in them words, repeated. One says, "I am she, bird, caged, gilded, swallow, levitating." Another reads, "I am eye, nail, tooth, fight, soaring, fighting, surviving, everything, accordingly, sporadically." Another, "I am zip, tied, tried, failed, attempt, repeat." Another, "I be cut, dead, shard, filthy, gasping, hurriedly injuring me." Another reads, "I am tea, food, sleep, mother, schools, bedtime, collapsed, repeat again." Another says, "Hi, God, grant me the ability, one shit, I believe in God." Try once again. I meant respond urgently, something uncovering. Pages 14, 15, 16 and 17 feature work by Melia Yildiz. This poem is translated also into Turkish, which I will not be reading. The top of the page, a message reads, "The sea is made up of millions of drops. We survivors are millions. The drops come together and form the shores like waves in the sea." Alongside of the poem, on the left-hand side, are various images of a beautiful, serene, warm place. One of a cliff, one of shrubbery, a winding road with a seascape in the background. The reflection and shadow of a person in a puddle. Some beautiful wide grasslands, a pack of cigarettes, and a seascape in a gorgeous country. Trigger warning. References of sexual abuse on children. How was your biggest cliff, Viv? How many times have you thought about building a swing on the edge of the cliffs? Did you manage to find your way when you lost your trace? How did you walk the roads that you don't have any traces? What kind of feeling is placing traces your ways? When I suggested to bring our childhood photos with us, you said that you would take your baby photo too. I can't tell how I felt. What does it mean for a baby to be sexually abused? Possibly we'll never know. I don't like climbing uphill, but when you don't climb uphill, you can't see the view either. To get to your true story, how much soil did you need to remove? How many layers did you have to go through, Viv? I am listening to the Azan standing by the water. Azan suppresses all sounds. How the Azan suppress our voices. I have lost you, Viv. Where are you? Footprints of those who walked before us. Still, I cannot see you. Where are you? There I have seen. That's the sea there. Traces have been disappeared. Also, we got lost. The guide is looking for the road, but I'm not scared. I can pave the way myself. I found the right road before the guide finds it. The powerful institutions of those who survived. Do you want to smoke? Cigarette is my old comrade, a disruptive comrade. Haven't we had a lot of disruptive comrades, Viv? I lie down on my back, so comfortable. I feel like I am part of the cliff. Is that a rainbow there? Where is the shore? Is it Turkey? Is it England? Is there a country of sexual abuse, Viv? Our journey is ending in a bit. Prior to the walk, many worries that last days. What makes a human tired is to think. Sometimes all we need is to walk without thinking, just to walk. Nothing that we experience to recover can be worse than experiencing sexual abuse. At the end of the road, seagulls welcome us again. Our destination always is a port. Seagulls at the port. The birds give you hope to the humans. I've got a well-known poem in my mind from our famous poet. Life is short, birds are flying. Page 19 features a poem by Elizabeth Shane. This is copyrighted to Elizabeth Shane, author and CSA survivor, and this poem is taken from Rainbow of Promise. You can find her work at www.elizabethshane.com. Simply me. Can I ever be simply just me, without reason to discuss or fanfare and fuss? Pay no heed to those who may scorn, wink at the serpent, concealed in disingenuous form, a ruse for provocation, words spoken in jest, in fanciful tongue, yet hard to digest. A wisdom of courage, no matter how small, a voice to be counted, arise and be tall. Unapologetic for what I've been through. I am enough, undiluted and true. Page 20 shows us work by Lisa Blake. The page is headed by an image of a pier with boats in the foreground. The text reads, I never thought there would come a time I would be able to leave my house, let alone go on holiday, even just an hour and a half away. I was so brave, and finally I felt free. Page 20 shows us work by Andy Stroman. Bravery. That Portuguese cap I wear between the staccato sentences. Who am I to question over the candles what a person does to me after they are lit? In between, you ask me to be normal. Who am I to be asked that? After what happened to me? Yet you are strong, and who can decide, you or me? We can go to Florence when we need to. Keep fighting. This poem is included in Andy Stroman's book Feelings, available by contacting them at andystroman1@gmail.com. This poem was written on the 11th of November 2024. Page 22 and 23 shows work by Nieletti. The first page is a black and white image taken in a mirror of a woman taking a photo. The text reads, "When I took this photo, even though I didn't realize it at the time, it was an act of reclaiming control over my body and my sense of self after going through challenging experiences. Looking back now, I feel proud of what it represents. My unapologetic identity as a survivor. We fight, we endure, and we rise stronger together. I couldn't have come this far without the support of fellow survivors, friends, and feminists who have stood by me." As feminist rapper Gata Katana powerfully expressed in El Plan, a phrase that has become a rallying cry for feminist protests, "Nunca me sentí sola porque estábamos juntos." Page 24 is a poem by an anonymous writer. Bravery is this. Bravery is finally learning to relinquish my shame, nurture my sweet soul, and put right what was done to me by someone else. Someone who made a moment and it's lasted forever. For me, anyway. Bravery is the tears that I hold in my throat. It's the real playing behind my eyes. It's the dampening, comforting weight of accepting. Bravery is a bookmark in time, letting the world roll over for a while, waiting by the window and whispering into the wind. It's over now. We can come home. Bravery is this. Page 25 shows us writing by Liv Amber Rose from her book Lover Girl. Trigger warning: sexual assault, rape, depression, heartbreak. Maybe it's the writer in me. Rape isn't poetic, it's not a metaphor. Yet when I revisit the event, the pain, or when it decides to rudely revisit me, it can feel like a brutal poem. Maybe it's the writer in me. A symphony of painful, beautiful moments that led to my soul death. The night I died and survived all at once. The night I walked into that hotel, a young woman full of what life could offer, her bubbly, happy, and trusting nature, to a ghost who had left that building, a shadow floating out the front door. I didn't know immediately that I had died. I did know something was more wrong than it had ever been when I looked into the mirror and I saw nothing. Like a horror movie where you see a girl looking in the mirror to which the viewer sees no reflection at all. I got scared. I took a double take. I squeezed my eyes shut in hopes my blurry eyes would suddenly reveal the girl I had seen every day, the girl I knew. What broke my heart years later, and when I say broke my heart, I mean the fact I have recently discovered, and has destroyed me, is that the girl that walked into that hotel would not have done half the things I have done. Don't get me wrong, I've achieved an incredible amount. From the outside it looks like I'm quite successful for my age. But I've hurt people in ways, and it has made me colder, more numb than I have ever realized. I thought I had just healed. The final page of the zine shows us the lion once again. a reminder of our bravery in this issue. In a large serif at the top, we say thank you. At the bottom, there is text that says, produced by Survivors Network community members, the team at Survivors Network, and Kaz Horton and Annie Cross from Bright Tech.